Before we dive into today's episode, we want to remind you that the views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and guests and for educational and entertaining purposes. The Professional Homegirl podcast is here to celebrate the diverse voices, stories, and experiences of women of color, providing a platform for authentic and empowering conversations. There will be some 𝐾𝐿, some tears, but most importantly, a reminder that tough times don't last, but professional homegirls do. Enjoy the show. Throughout recent times, we have sadly encountered incidents that have captured public attention and sparked numerous discussions surrounding the theme of friendships. We have witnessed multiple scenarios where young women have tragically lost their lives, with the individuals responsible being women who were once their friends. Today, my guest will share her personal journey of surviving the worst night of her life, which unfolded while she was at her friend's house. So to my guest, how are you feeling? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. Just going day after day, trying to make the best of it.
Good, good. Well, look, she looked good, y'all. She got her Burberry bonnet on. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Good. Well, I want to say thank you so much for being a guest on the show because I know this conversation is going to be a little difficult for you. So I really appreciate you sharing your story and definitely inspiring the listeners out there. So thank you so much.
Yes, of course. That's what I want to do. That's all that matters.
Good. So what inspired you to start sharing your story?
Well, it's crazy because at first, like when it was fresh, I did not want to tell anybody. Like the day after, that was my plan to not, go about it in the big way. But after a while, I guess I just felt like I needed to tell somebody. And when I did tell somebody, they shared their experience with me, and I didn't even know what happened to them. So
Mhm.
that kind of opened my eyes like, wow, you don't even know who goes through the same
Going
things
through the
you
same
go
thing you're
through.
going through. Right, right.
Yes. So after that, I was just like, wow, okay. I love helping people. So let me just open my story out. And I finally got the bravery or determination that
Mm-hmm.
one day to make a video, and it came out positive. It was a positive outcome. So
Do you feel lighter the more you share your story?
yes, definitely.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, you recently graduated from high school like 3 years ago, right?
Yes, 2020.
Wow. So you was a graduation baby in a pandemic. How was that?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I was supposed to be class of 2021, but because I did early college programming,
Okay.
in my high school, I
We
had
like
all
a
my
smart professional
credentials.
homegirl now. Okay.
Yes. Thank you. But yes, I did have my credentials, so I was able to graduate early.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was excited, of course, I'm like, okay. And then when we got the announcement, it just kind of brought everything down. I always look forward to graduating high school because I don't know if you know the movie High School Musical, the Disney Channel movie.
Uh-huh.
I grew up on that, and at the end when they dancing at
Not
graduation,
you
that was
showing your
me.
age, child.
Yes, yes. But yes, but now it's like I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of hard like watching, 2021, 2, and 2023 graduating now and prom and everything. It's kind of sad, and I wish we could have had it, but
You a little
you
jealous?
know, a
You can
little bit.
say, yeah. I mean, that's like the most pivotal part in graduate or just being a part of high school. Like you look forward to graduation, you look forward to prom, senior
Right,
skip day. Like you look forward to
right.
mad shit, and y'all was kind of robbed. Well, y'all were robbed of that because of the pandemic.
Yes, 12 years of school gone.
Right, just to be at home graduating.
Right, exactly.
So wait, y'all
But
didn't have a you didn't have a prom, did you?
no, no problem.
Oh, wow.
And then I didn't have a junior prom because I was originally a junior and I was turned into a senior, so I didn't have either one.
Wow. And I feel like you were pretty popular in school, right?
Mm, yes, I'm out there, but I kind of also stay to myself. Like I don't like to be, out in the drama and stuff.
Right.
So
You don't like to be mixy.
right, right.
Now, when everything happened, you were in the 11th grade.
Yes, yes.
So, how would you describe your friendship with the person who pretty much set you up?
Well, in the beginning, of course, it was great. Everything seemed normal to me. We met each other in church and
Oh, wow.
yeah, so my mom and my aunt, they're twins. They were like head of the mime ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was a part of the group and we all danced together a whole bunch of times and we would come over, she would come over to our house, dinner, everything like that.
Oh, y'all was close.
Yes, like my mom gave her money for graduation, rides to work, yes, all of that. And it was just everything. She seemed like a big sister to me, like to be honest, really.
Because she was a few years older than you, right?
Yes, I think probably about, well, at the time I was 16 and she was 20, I believe.
Mm. So did you notice anything or did anything stand out in the leading up to the night of your 11th grade homecoming?
Um, Not really. Everything seemed normal. Like it wasn't nothing out of the ordinary, no signs, nothing at all. So it was really a surprise to me.
Yeah, that's
So
so strange that I mean, we'll get into it later on about how like she just like a light switch, like she just flipped.
yes, yes,
And especially
definitely.
since our families were so close.
Right. Exactly. But after that situation, a couple of my close friends in the circle did the same thing. So after that, I just started not to trust and close my circle more,
What did the same thing
because
to you?
yeah, well, did some shady things pertaining to the event that happened.
Oh, okay, okay. So
Yeah.
tell us about the night of the homecoming because I know you was going to, was it her birthday party?
Yes. She was having a little kickback. So you want to know the homecoming or just go straight to
No, you can do both.
okay. So um I go to my homecoming, dressed up all
You was a
nice.
cheerleader, right?
Yes. So
Okay.
of course. I think we had a game before we went. So yeah, and then we went home, got dressed, and went it was in the cafeteria. Everybody was dancing. It was a nice time. I was hanging with my friends. And then we went out to Fridays, after to get something to eat. And then my mom picked me up from school and then we went to her house. She
That's
dropped
how I
me
know
off.
that's how I know y'all young. Y'all went to Fridays. When
Yes.
I was your age, we used to always go to IHOP.
Mm. We should
Yeah.
have went to IHOP.
Yeah, I used to
Mm.
love me some IHOP.
Yes, I love IHOP too.
But go ahead.
But yeah, so I arrive at her house and everybody's kind of already drunk or tipsy or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, like, all right. And so I start talking to everybody, introducing myself. And it was just these two people that spot out. That's when everything started to show, but I didn't really, pay attention to it.
What you mean by things started to show? Like, did they look suspicious or?
Like as when I looked about this situation after the fact, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was introducing myself, those two particular people just like stood out. They kept asking me like different questions, like how do you or what school you go to, like just more detailed questions. And I don't know why, but I just wasn't thinking of it. I'm just thinking they getting to know me
Right.
because that's my friend's friend, so whatever. And yeah, and we start drinking. It's cool. The two particular people, it's a guy and it's a girl. The guy seems or portrays that he is feminine.
Right. So you thought he was
Um,
gay?
right. So
Right.
right. And the girl portrayed, well, she was dressed,
Like a nigga?
tomboyish. Yes. Okay.
Look here,
I
little sis.
know.
Get your shit off, sis. You ain't, you ain't
I,
gotta
I don't
sugarcoat
know how
nothing.
to talk.
No,
Okay,
talk
okay,
like,
okay.
come on now. We from the same neighborhood. So get your shit off.
Okay.
You trying to be all political correct. You like, I wish y'all could
Yes.
see her. She's but go ahead. So
But
you thought
yeah,
he was gay because how he was presenting himself, and you thought she was a
like a
lesbian?
stud,
A
a drag,
stud.
something like that, right?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, cool. We start drinking, or I start taking shots,
But
trying
wait,
to be grown.
you made a comment. You said when you arrived, your friend wasn't there.
Oh yeah, so she was there. She was just she was drunk. Like when
Oh.
I was in the car, like on the way there, I was texting her like I'm on the way. She was like literally like her text messages, you
Oh,
know.
she was, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, she when I get in there, she's like under the table, like laughing and whatever, whatever. I'm like,
Right.
okay. But she's still kind of talking, introducing and stuff. So it
Right.
wasn't really out of the ordinary. And yeah, and so we was just taking shots and then I don't know. I think this is definitely like my first time like drinking. So, I was already gone a little bit.
Right.
So, and they had me mixing.
Oh,
So,
well, yeah. If you mixing it, and this is like your
right.
first. Cause I was gonna ask you that, like, was this your first time drinking, or did you normally drink when you was with your
Yeah.
friends?
No, that was like first time drinking. I think it was definitely Hennessy
Oh, y'all drinking
and
Hennessy in 11th grade? Child, y'all was
yes,
lit, right?
Hennessy and maybe Ciroc or Amsterdam.
Y'all mixing
Something.
dark and light?
Yes, I don't know. But
Child.
mind you, the two particular people, they're like 21 and up. So,
Oh, but well, also she was your friend is older than you, so those were her
right,
friends.
right, right,
Right, right, right.
right. So, yeah.
So
So,
afterwards, y'all took the shots. Then what happened next?
and so I don't know, I'm feeling it, I guess. I just remember the next thing I know, I'm starting to have a panic attack. And like,
Mm.
I'm really freaking out right now. Everybody's like trying to calm me down. She's trying to calm me down. They had to pick me up and like hold me outside, like just to let me get some air. And then I remember they brought me back in and we went to the bathroom and I just sat there until I felt better or something like that. And so oh, mind you, the party's in the living room or whatever. It's about five or six friends, other people there too.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, it kind of just went blank. Like the next thing I remember was the events. I remember just waking up, the room was dark. It's nobody there but the two people. Everybody else left.
The guy and the girl.
Yeah. Everybody else is gone, and my friend is in the room asleep, and the lights are off.
Mm.
So I wake up, and I'm sitting on the couch in the girl's lap, and she has her hands in my pants. And I'm like literally out of it. Like I'm just laying there, like I can't even move. Like, and I'm just like, where's, you know, blah blah
Your
blah.
friend.
Where's the right? And they're like, oh, she's in there asleep. She's in there asleep. It's fine. It's fine. Just laughing it off. and I go black out again, and then um next time I wake up, I'm on the floor with the guy, and he's sitting there, and he's forcing me to, you know,
Give him head.
put yes, and eventually he stops me because I throw up on him, and
So you couldn't physically move.
no, I
Wow.
really couldn't. And this is why everybody, when I put the story out, is saying like they set you up. They must have put something in your drink because there's no way, like
Do
that's
you feel like you
crazy.
were do you feel like you were drugged?
Maybe because I was like like I couldn't move, like I was paralyzed, like. And mind you, I drink now or whatever, and I get drunk or whatever, and I never felt like that.
Mm.
So I think they might have did something, but yeah, and so
When you threw
then
up.
yeah, exactly, and that's the only way he stopped me. He like pushed me off of him, like, oh my gosh, ew, whatever, and then I blacked out again. Woke up, I was laying on my back on the floor, just laid out, and I felt penetration down there. And
Wow. From
then,
him?
yeah.
Wow.
And then I black out, wake up the next morning. Guess where I am?
Where are you?
I'm in her room on the floor with my shorts off, with a towel as a blanket.
So when you woke up the next morning, I know you probably thought that was a crazy ass dream.
Yes, I definitely did. I woke up and I was like, what? Like,
Like
I
what
had to sit up.
happened?
Yeah, like, I had to sit up for a second, like, okay. Like, I did, that ass said, was that a dream? Like, okay. And so we all went into the living room, and the two people were still there. They were sitting on the couch, and she started making everybody breakfast.
Your
So I'm
friend.
literally, yes. So I'm literally sitting at the dining room chair, just sitting there, like, still trying to puzzle together what's going on.
So were y'all
And
talking about the night? Because I'm pretty sure like after the night, like if you've been with your homegirls, y'all gonna recount the night and like, just kiki. So were they trying to like were they being like cautious of what they say or like were they watching you? Because I know you putting the pieces together.
right, right, right. So it was like so weird the way they acted. It was like they knew they took power over me, that I wasn't going to say anything, or that they drugged me enough to not remember, because they was like regular, like they was acting good, and I don't know, they just seemed fine, like everything was a
Like they did this
setup.
before.
Yeah, right, exactly. And so what made me like actually realize that something happened was, my friend pointed out somebody threw up in the same exact spot that I threw up. It was a stain right there. And I'm like, I looked at it, I was like, what the fuck? Oh my gosh. Like,
Right.
this actually happened. So
And did she not know that you threw up?
I guess not. Nobody informed her because she was asleep in the room and left me out there. So,
Wow.
um, right. And so I don't think nobody said anything. They didn't say anything. I think they was like, I don't know. And I really was just shook. Like, I could not say nothing to nobody. Like, I was just sitting there. And they finally got up to leave. Oh no, but before they were leaving, it was weird. It made it more weird. They got up, walked with her in her room. Mind you, her room is right like across from me from where I'm sitting, so I could see them in the room. They're standing there just talking about something.
So they whispering.
Right. Like huddling up and stuff. And I'm like so confused. Like,
Right.
and so
Oh nah, that's wow.
yeah, it really is. And so they leave, And so she finally comes to me. I'm like, okay, I need to talk to you. So I'm telling her what's going on, what happened. And her response was, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? They would never do that. Like, you sure you wasn't dreaming? Like, I know they wouldn't
Wow.
do that. And I was crying,
But
bawling
why
my
would
eyes
you
out.
lie?
Why would I lie about something like that? Like, for real.
And why did you
I
wake
don't,
up with no pants on?
but I guess she was too drunk or whatever to notice.
Right.
So, yeah. And after she said that, I was like, wow, okay. And so she walked away, and I texted like my friends in the group chat or whatever, and I was like, just telling them what's going on. Like, I think I got raped. I don't know if I can say it or
Yeah, you
not.
can say it.
Okay, I think I got raped. Yes, they said, and where you at? Let me get you an Uber. What's
Have
going
they ever
on?
met this friend before?
No,
Mm.
because this is a church friend. These are my school friends. So,
Right. You don't mix the two.
right, right. So, yeah, and I'm like, it's fine. Like, I'm gonna figure it out. And so I called my cousin to come pick me up. I get in the car with my cousin. I just leave the house. Like, I don't even say nothing to her because, like, it just stunned me. And I wish I didn't leave and not say or do it. But,
Yeah. But you was also in shock, so you can't fault yourself for that.
right, right, right.
Because you're still
So, yeah,
processing exactly what happened.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So I'm in the car with my cousin. This is my favorite cousin. Like, I tell her everything. This the cool older cousin. So,
Right.
and I'm sitting in the car for the ride. Literally, I live like 5 minutes down the street from this girl. So the car ride wasn't that long, but it seemed long. Because I'm just in my head like, oh my gosh, you need to tell her. Should I tell her? I don't know. Because she might turn around and,
Yeah.
and like, da, da, da. So I just didn't tell her. I just went in the house, went upstairs, and went in the bathroom. And I looked in the mirror and I just started crying. And I guess that's when I just came to the reality of it. And then after I stopped crying for like, a good whatever,
Right.
um, I decided, okay, let me clean myself up. Maybe that will make me feel better or something. So I started brushing my teeth because I just left out. Like I couldn't even, get dressed, none of that. I was trying to brush my teeth, and you brush your tongue, so
Right.
and I reached back like and like hit my whatever uvula
The
or
back of
whatever.
your throat.
Yeah, and it was hurting, like aching. I was like, oh my gosh, like it just made it worse of a reality, like another, oh my gosh, it really happened.
Wow.
And it made me start crying even more. I was like, okay, let me get in the shower. So I start undressing and I look, just looking at myself, and I discovered it's like a big scratch across my chest. And I'm like, wow, like, oh my gosh.
Right.
And so I get in the shower, still crying, just crying that whole day. My mom, mind you, I'm the only child.
Oh
It's just me and
wow.
my mom. So,
Hmm.
right. And my mom was out. She was at church, I think. And so I was just in the house all day, just upset and shocked, confused, don't know what to do.
Right.
And mind you, I have school tomorrow. So I'm like, okay, do I tell my mom? I don't
And
really want to talk about it.
do you know anybody that's been in a similar situation as you before this happened? Or like, because I feel like a lot of times, like, we never experienced something like this. So we react out of shockness. So did
Mm,
you know anybody that been in this situation or that's been in something that's like trauma filled?
no, I didn't. And I didn't know. Like my mind was blank. Like I really couldn't think
Right.
of anything. Like, and I decided not to say anything and just go to school and hope for the best. And I couldn't even make it to my first class. I kept going in the bathroom. And my friends came in there with me trying to help me out. And then after
Right.
a while, they was just like, we just gonna skip classes today. We gonna go in the library and just chill all day until you feel better. And they ordered me some food. We just chilled in the library. Um,
So when did you
and
decide to tell somebody? Like
so
an
yeah,
adult?
yeah. So after school, I went home and after school, um, I went home and I talked to one of my friends. Like this is my closest friend that I tell everything to, get advice or whatever. And I told him, and he was just telling me like, "Oh my gosh, you need to tell somebody. Like this is going to hurt if you keep
If you keep it
bottling
balled in,
it
yeah.
in." Yes. And I was like having a panic attack on the phone with him, like, I'm scared. Like, what if I get in trouble or for drinking or whatever, just thinking of all this other stuff. And so I finally got the courage to do it. So I hung up the phone with him and I called my aunt
Mm-hmm.
because I couldn't tell my mom. Like, I couldn't. And she
Right.
was at work at this time. So I called my aunt. I told her to come over. She came right over. And I just gave her a hug because I couldn't face her and just say that. So I hugged her and I told her what happened. And then she was like, okay, she called my mom to come home.
Right.
She called the police so we could, start writing a report. And she called my cousin that came to pick me up so she could be there to,
Right.
for comfort. So the police get there, my cousin get there. I'm telling them what's going on. And so my mom finally arrived. And so my aunt goes outside to tell her, and all I hear is her screaming like to the top of her lungs.
Wow.
Like that was the worst thing I ever heard. Like that hurt me so bad. Um, she came in the house, she was crying. She's just like, "What happened?" Like just, of course she was
Right.
just
Because she couldn't
upset.
believe it.
Right. And so eventually she called. This is the part that's going to get you, but she called my friend's mom, right? She was
Right.
out of town at the time of the party. So she calls her and informs her of what is going on. And she says, oh my gosh, okay, let me call her and I'll call you back. That's all.
That's it?
That's all. And never called back. Till today. Like, still today. Never called back.
Yeah,
Never apologized.
that's kind of sketch.
Yeah. The
I mean,
mom, like,
I mean, I'm pretty sure she was in shock as well, but at least call back.
right. And then we
Right.
see her in church. Like,
Y'all
come
still see
on.
them in church?
Well, after a while, we stopped going because I couldn't do it, and my mom couldn't do it either because, you know. But yeah, we did see them in church sometimes, and it would be hard for the both of us.
Oh, wait, well, before
So
we get there, because I do have a question about that. So when the police got involved, what was the outcome? Did anything happen?
no, nothing
Wow.
at all.
And why not?
This so okay. It's a couple things. So this thing, I always okay. I'm not gonna say it's my fault, but I took. Remember, I said I took a shower.
Right.
So when they did the rape kit and all the evidence, they didn't find anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that was that. And then it was one 16-year-old girl against five adults or whatever. And in the interview process, I guess I wasn't hurt or enough. Like I didn't look hurt enough. So they didn't believe me,
Why? Because
I
you
guess.
wasn't crying and like
Right.
being
Ball in my eye. Yeah.
right.
Right.
Is that
That's
what they
because
told you?
that's not what they told me, but Okay, well, my mom works in the law enforcement, so she kind of knows everything. But she kind of told me that thing, and when I was in the interview, I was crying a little bit, but I was like more calm because that's the kind of person I am. I don't like to be sad for a long amount of time, you know.
Or not
Like
even
I'll be
sad. You
like,
don't like to be distressed.
right, right,
Right.
yeah, and dwell on that whatever situation. So yeah, so nothing happened. The last thing they told me was, we're gonna let you know. We interviewed them and we interviewed you. We're gonna let you know. And we never heard anything. Mind you, that was in 2019. And then I recently tried to reopen the case last year, and I talked to new people, and they said it's still no evidence or whatever, so they can't.
And they couldn't do like a blood test to see if you was drugged.
Well, they did do it. They seen all of it.
So you were drugged.
But well, they just seen marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they just seen liquor. So I don't think so. That's what they told me. I don't know. But what gets me is they could have charged them with, underage drinking. They could have
Mm-hmm.
charged her mom with underage drinking because it's her house. It was like other things they could have looked for
Just
in the
something
situation.
so you can
Right,
feel heard.
right. But let me tell you this. I just found out my girlfriend's people's people's
Mm-hmm.
went has been through the same experience with that guy, with the same guy before me.
So he's just out here raping people.
Yeah, but yeah, yeah.
And then did
And hers
she?
was worse. But
Wow.
no, that's the unfortunately she's not open. So, and I'm not gonna, force her.
Right.
But I believe, if she was to come forward, maybe they will open the case back up.
Well, how did I
But
mean, obviously not to tell too much of her business, but how did you know that y'all was that it was the same guy?
so I think one day, because one day I guess I was, you know, triggered or in my feelings about it, and I posted him on my story and was like, "Do anybody know this man?" And her
No, you said, do
people's,
anybody know this nigga?
yeah,
Right.
her people's, commented and was like, "Oh yeah, I went to school with him." Blah, blah, blah. And then I told her what happened to me, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, the same thing happened to my cousin or whatever." Da, 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 da. So, and I was like, "Oh wow, like
Right.
okay." And I hope he's not, you know, doing it anymore if he's already did
I
it
mean, I hope
twice.
he's caught. Yeah.
Right, right.
But you also
And
mentioned how you felt like you thought that this was a setup because you mentioned that your friend had videos of her just giving you water,
yes, yes. Um,
which I thought
oh
that was
yeah,
kind of weird.
right, right. That was another reason why I guess they didn't believe me because everything that they had against me was perfectly like done. Like it was literally a video of me just saying like, "Oh yeah, give me some more." Like I'm really out, like I'm, loose or whatever. Give me some more. And she's like, "Oh no, you need to drink some water," taking it out my hand, like just really doing the whole little play or acting, whatever.
Right.
I don't, yeah, I don't know. And it's crazy because also when I was in the interview, the police were like being weird. Like they were being kind of sketchy. Like they were telling me little details from what they said, but not really. They told me about the videos. I only seen one video, but they told me it was multiple videos.
How you see the
They,
video? They showed it to you, or you saw it on social media?
I saw it from my aunt. Somehow, I think they sent it to her or something like that. I don't know.
Right.
But it was more videos, and they said we were playing Truth or Dare, and I was dancing on everybody, and I wanted to play Truth or Dare, and I'm like, Truth or Dare, like from my mind, I don't remember no time of playing Truth or Dare, so
Right.
I don't know. But they was just being like giving me very little details, and I don't know if that's what was their job, trying to see how I was gonna react to it, but it was just weird. Like they was already, like I already knew whose side they were on from the
Right.
jump.
Do you feel like do you I know you say your mom is in she's in law enforcement. Do you feel like they did their job? Or do y'all feel like they did their job?
No, not at all.
Wow.
And the sad thing about it is the main person who was on my case, he's now working with the kid um abuse um section or whatever you want to call it. So I just think that's bad because he didn't
Right.
help me. So I hope he's helping the kids. I don't know.
Right. So how did this experience impact you? Because I know it had to be challenging for you to concentrate on graduating.
Yes, it definitely impacts me. Um, I can't even describe my feelings towards it when it happened and after because I think I just, like I said, the type of person I am, I don't like to dwell. And like literally after the hospital day, I was like, okay, I'm going to school the rest of the week. And my mom was like, no, like you need to take a break. I was like, no. And I went back to school and I was good. And I
Mm-hmm.
was just focused on, school because I'm almost graduating and stuff. But it definitely impacted like relationships and friendships.
Right.
Um, Sometimes family stuff too. Like it did impact a lot of stuff. But over the years, it, you know, I became good with it. Like I'm better with it now. Sometimes I still, have those moments, but
Mm-hmm.
it's better. It's definitely better now.
Yeah, I because me, I guess and I we were talking earlier, and I like to ask my guests like, "Hey, have you listened to the show, or have you ever heard the show before?" Just to give the guests an idea of what to expect. And I was talking to my guest, and she told me how she listened to the suicide episode. So I'm assuming you felt suicidal during that time.
Um, yes, I did. But I feel like it was for a brief moment.
Right.
I feel like honestly, that's when I grew up in, the church and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I felt like in that moment, that's when I opened myself up and my eyes to God. Like I gained so much strength that I didn't know I had from that up
Mm.
until now. Like I still
Right.
am in disbelief that myself like really did that. Like I'm good. Like,
Right.
you
Right.
know. So yeah.
Well, I
Um
know you're very religious, so did this situation make you question God?
um yeah, it was like I don't know, it was like I did question him, but it was also I kind of understood like I always carry the quote God gives his toughest battles to his strongest. Oh
Soldiers.
my God, soldiers.
I got you,
Yes.
sis. I got you.
So yeah, so I just kept that in my mind, I think. And I just was like, okay, I learned from it. What did I need to learn from this? Like I
Right.
didn't think about, oh my gosh, well I did think about why did it happen, but
I mean, I think that's natural because you actually know this person. You grew up with her and your families are so close. And then
right,
y'all met each other in church. So it's just like,
right,
wow. Yeah.
right. But yeah, I think it made me stronger with him, actually.
Made your
So
relationship stronger.
yes,
So did you ever confront your friend or did anybody else confront her?
I never confronted her, and I seen her one day, and I should have confronted her. I went to the store, to the hair store, and it was about to close, so I was like the only one in there, and I heard the door open, and I heard her voice, and I looked, and I was like, I know it's not this, this
Right.
girl in here, and I just walked into the counter and bought my stuff. And I seen her in my peripheral looking at me, like just staring at me. And I walked out and I sat in my truck and she walked out the store and she just still just staring at me, like walking to her car, just staring at me. So I know, and I looked and I thought about that and I was like, I must really be bothering her. And that's
Mm.
good. But in the store, I was like, I know this not this girl. Like, what should I do right now? I have an opportunity
Oh yeah,
to say,
or to
to
run up on
do,
her.
yeah. But then I was like, wait, I'm in a store with, Korean people and, they don't be
Right.
playing about their stuff. I don't want nobody calling the police. So
Right.
I was like, I'm not even gonna give her the energy to look at her. So let
Right.
me just go get my stuff and leave. And that bothered her. And yeah. But
So
I
how
kind of
would it
regret
be?
it
You regret it?
a little bit. Just a little bit. I wish I
That
said something.
so how would it be in church? Because I know it you and your mom stopped going to that church, like you said earlier.
Well, we wouldn't really cross paths because the church was big. So we would be in this section, they would be in the section next to us. That's how we seen them, but everybody it would be packed in there. So we wouldn't actually see them. And I would just
Mm.
ignore it because I'm
Well,
in
and,
church.
and do anybody else know about it in the church?
Yes,
Since
so
y'all pretty active?
the pastor and the first lady, we had a meeting with them one night and we told them and the first lady actually, opened up about her story to me.
Mm.
So and she kind of went through the same experience, the blackouts and stuff. So yeah, and I don't know. I mean, it's not like they could be like, okay, y'all can't come to church or
Mm.
whatever. But I don't know. It didn't. I don't want. I don't know. I don't want to say it didn't seem like they did anything to the situation, but I don't know if they
Right.
were supposed to.
Well, I
So
am happy that the people are starting to share their stories with you because you're starting to share your stories with them because I know when I was going through a lot of traumatic shit, I used to always feel like I was the only one until I
right,
started sharing my story. So when you start
yeah,
sharing your story, that's how you build your community.
yeah,
So
definitely,
so I think that's really good that you're starting to find your tribe that can help you with this part of your journey.
yes, yes.
So what were some of the things you did that helped you with your journey towards healing? Because I know you mentioned in one of your interviews that it was very difficult for you to even say the word rape.
Yeah, so I had this journal and it was sparkly and so pretty. My
Mm-hmm.
personality.
Okay.
So yes. So I was like, let me start writing in this and see what happens and just go
Right.
by the day so I can read it later on and see how much I improved. So I started writing in it every day. And what else did I do? I just hung out with my trusted, loyal friends that I knew who were there. And they just helped me learn. They gave me advice when I needed it. They gave me a
Mm-hmm.
shoulder, you know. But I really think the book helped me a lot because even if I wasn't comfortable sharing a specific thing with somebody, I could write it down and get it out.
Right.
And it definitely made me feel better, like now reading my book back then. And I'm just like, wow, okay, I see
Right.
you. So,
Right.
yeah.
So when we come across stories like Kanika Jenkins, a 19-year-old who was found in the freezer, or the recent case of Shanquilla Robinson, who lost her life while on vacation with her homegirls. When you hear these stories, how does that make you feel?
That hurts. Like, it's just a surprise. It's just confusing because, like, why? Like, that's
Right,
my response. Why? What's the reason? It should never be that serious or get to that point to do that to a human being.
right.
So I don't know. It hurts. It definitely hurts.
So how do you go about picking your friends now? Because I know earlier you said that it's been kind of difficult when it comes to trusting people, whether it's within your family or your friendships or dating.
Yeah. So now that I'm out of school, I don't have no friends from school. I literally only have three people I hang out with that I actually like grew up with elementary all the way up to now.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Like I do not talk to nobody. I tried to have some friends and they they don't act their age. I'll
Right,
say
right.
that.
I mean, but you
So
outgrow people, so that's
yeah,
normal.
right. Right. Yeah.
So how has this situation affected your relationship with your family, especially with your mom?
Well, yeah. So I mean, it brought us I feel like I don't know. If I feel like my mom had her own feelings toward the situation. Of course, like, I always wanted to keep my child safe, but I couldn't or I failed or whatever. And so I felt like after a while, we were good. Like we were always close. We were good, but it was like, I don't know, we were both thinking. It felt
Right.
like I don't know. And after a while, um, she me and her started to clash,
Mm-hmm.
not because of that situation, but because of a whole nother situation involving my girlfriend, if you get what
Mm.
I'm saying.
She didn't like the fact that you
So,
like girls.
yeah,
Yeah, I saw in the interview she gave it up nasty.
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
acting the fool. But now we're good. We just talked it out a couple months ago. So,
Well, that's good. Did she didn't was it because of the religion part or the aspect of it?
yes, and growing up, in the older days, you
Right.
know, so, and she grew up in Texas, so
Well,
they
yeah.
strict.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's considered that's a part of the Bible Belt, right?
I don't know.
I feel like I mean it's in the South. Well, I'm happy that y'all are in a great space because I know that had to be pretty challenging, but I also feel like it's great that y'all had the conversation about that because you are who you are and you like what
Yes,
you like.
right. And I'm still the same, no matter what.
Right. Right. How has she
So
been doing since the situation? Like, do
my
she
mom,
still, yeah, do she still like beat herself up about it? Because I know that has to be pretty difficult as a parent to feel as if
I
she didn't
mean,
protect her child.
I can tell like it'll be like something that pertains to the event,
Right.
or we'll be watching something. Both of us will get, upset. She'll be like, "Okay, let's turn this off," or she'll try to end the conversation, whatever it is about. I can tell she's still very hurt.
It's triggering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, does anyone have any information about the whereabouts of the two individuals? Because I know we talked about the guy, but what about the girl? Where's she at?
Man, I don't know. She gone. I found her Instagram like back close to the event, and then I don't know what happened. She's gone. I don't know. She
Right.
ducked off.
Mm. What
So,
would you want anything to happen to them now? Like, would you want an apology? Would you want them arrested? Like, what would closure look like for you in this situation?
hmm. I always thought about that, and I really don't know. Like, I don't know
You want them to get
if
their
I
ass
would.
whooped?
Right, like
Like,
I don't know if I want to fight him
Right.
or just get an
Or you could just
apology.
let God handle them like he's been doing.
Right. And that is so hard to hear.
No, it is. It's hard to
Like,
say too.
yes.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. But I'm just like, okay, all right.
But
Yeah.
God, when God does get his lick back, oh man, it's a
Mm-hmm.
lick.
Yes, definitely. So
So, what is your advice to the listeners when it comes to friendships?
my advice would be choose them very carefully. I don't want to say be cautious, but be cautious. Like, don't be paranoid, but be cautious from the moment you meet them. If you don't get a genuine vibe from the beginning, like an actual genuine vibe, like then move on. But and even if you get a genuine vibe, because people will be fine until whatever, um, y'all might fall out. Don't let that discourage you. Don't let that hurt you. Just know that it was only for a season, you know.
Come on, little sis.
So yes, you always gonna find somebody that's supposed to be in your life when they're supposed to be in your life. So yeah.
You know, I am so proud of you because when I was doing research on your story and
Thank you.
it really I had slid in your DMs and this gave you an encouraging word because it was really fucked up what happened to you. But to see you now,
Thank you.
you know, I feel like the conversation it was definitely encouraging. I feel like you definitely got your story out, but I also feel like it wasn't as heavy this time.
It definitely wasn't like I feel good today. Like
See, big
so
sis
I
got you.
appreciate you. Yes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And to the listeners, if you have any questions or comments or concerns, please make sure to email me at hello@thephgpodcast.com. And until next time, everyone, later.
Bye.